to the PRI podcast. This is episode 6. We are going to do a post-cycle review of our entire user base. So we have 32 guys here. All of our teams are on the left. Our rankings are on the right. We're going to try to knock this out about 45 minutes because our good friend Brackett has to go to sleep. So, guys, how we doing today?
What's up, fellas? How are we? What's going on?
Good,
I'm
good.
exhausted.
And Drew has to go to sleep as well. So, all right, let's go and knock this out. So we're going to go basically, why do I got to go ahead and edit this? I definitely didn't steal this document from Nick and PRI or VNB plus PRI. Definitely, this is the PRI document completely. And so we're going to go just like we did before. It's going to be a blast and a half. Let's go and get rolling. So I have the very not dignified decision of who is number 32. This sucks because 32 sucks. It's never fun to be number 32, but to me there is a clear. I also want to before I get into 32, I'm going to do a quick preview of what we decided to do here because you're going to see some names like Prince. You're also going to see, let's see here, Sean in the Colts. These names are whoever was that team for the majority of the cycle or whoever we have active going into Madden 21. Or, excuse me, 22.
22.
Yep, 20. Thank you. So whoever is that team now is who we'll take. Or if it's empty, like Sean, he was the Colts for the majority of the cycle, so we're just going to make Sean a part of this in our cycle review. So moving on. That's why you may see some old names here. We're just kind of reviewing and projecting what we think. So and do keep in mind some of these names like Hey Bob is the Bob of the Steelers before, and now he's switched over.
What? No.
He was the Steelers. Why is Bob?
He was the Texans.
Wait, what team is this? The team I've highlighted.
Texans.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, those are the same colors as the Patriots, so I was a little confused. My bad. Okay, so never mind. We're good to go. I'm gonna go and get us rolling with a less than popular pick, but I'm gonna go Rugger. Rugger has I know we made a comment about it in the team draft, or not team draft, but in our top 5. I think the podcast we just did. Rugger it was whenever we named Guac our most improved user of the 21 cycle. Excuse me. Rugger has the single worst win percentage so far. Hasn't really done much. He was in kind of a tough division with Tosh and Nick, but honestly, you got to win more than you are, and I think it kind of comes down to trying to do too much. If we're being honest, I think he users a little bit too much with corner, and it doesn't really make sense to me. We are going to do where you can pick yourself, and everybody in the group has veto power if somebody makes a stupid pick, and we're all just like, you're an idiot, stop. No, we're not going to put it down. So, anybody have any issues with this pick here of Rugger?
Not at 32, but I don't think you had to be that harsh, dude. What the hell, man? Off rip?
Yeah, I'm going for the jugular. We are going full truth here. If you hate the truth, my apologies. The truth sucks. Truth's hard. So,
I think that he's still adjusting to our set here.
Mr. Guac, this may be a harder pick here. You're going to put it 31.
I'm struggling here, but I think I have to go with Sean White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to put Sean White there. I mean, Sean is, he's been here for a long time. He's a great user. He's active in chat. Awesome. But I mean, his gameplay hasn't been the best. I mean, and I'm not one to speak on that. I am dog shit. However, I hate like dogging on guys because I should be at 31, but hey, it's fine. Sean's a great user. He's a great guy. He just retired. He had a great cycle. Not really. Yeah. Anybody got anything to say about that?
Nope. I think you hit it well.
Yeah, I think your only mistake was a great cycle.
Ow! Wow. He had whose fault is that, Drew?
Wow, that is quite a comeback. That's
Why are we yelling? Chill out.
I don't think that was a yell. That sounded like a bark.
Yeah, that was a bark. He's going for it. Good stuff. So, whenever we pick somebody, I'll just white it out. And Wings, you're up at 30.
All
Who's our
right, dude.
30th best or third worst?
30th is tough. Oh my
That
gosh.
is. You got
I'm
a couple
I'm gonna
names here you could choose. We could go
I'm
Boone.
gonna
No, I'm
go.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, no. I'm gonna go with Nairi purely
Yeah.
because he's had a season and a half. He's got
And
like
I
a
still don't know
29.
who the guy is.
And he's got a 29% win percentage.
Hmm.
Um, I just haven't seen enough of him to put him higher. But that's pretty much my only
I
logic.
think
I
here.
get
that
that.
that
There's a
falls
lot
in
of
line with
unknowns.
he's still learning the rule set
Yeah.
and how we play
Yeah.
the game. I think that there's still time for him to adjust, but
Oh,
you
for
have
sure.
to make that adjust quickly.
And I mean, I can speak to it. He's a great guy. I mean, I've played him a few times in the NFC West, so he's a really good player. I think he's got potential, but I'm with Wings on that one. I think that's a great pick. Just because we haven't seen enough of him, and nothing against him, he has potential. He has some good offensive moments, but just right now there isn't enough, and he's still learning the game. So it's learning the game under XCFL rules. That's a great description.
Yeah, and taking over that Rams roster.
100%. Yep. All
Thanks,
right.
Chad.
So let me go ahead and we got to make sure. I don't know why this says bracket. We got to make sure it's his real name, Bucket. Bucket, you are up, good sir. Who's your 29th best or fourth worst?
I think I'm going to take Clutch here. And I know that he's played some tough games, and he had a tough division to play in this cycle. He's in your division, right? He played you and
Yeah.
Pride twice each. I've seen what he can do. I've played him in games that were not part of this league. So maybe it's the rule set that he's having a hard time adjusting to, or maybe he just didn't have the greatest roster to start. I know that he took over a busy team that was in rough shape. Shout out Busy, we love you. But
Yeah.
but you left the team in a rough spot, minus a good corner.
And that's a fair pick. I
Uh,
mean, his win percentage career, and since he came in this cycle, he has 88 total games played and a 26.1 win percentage. So
That's all I'm
that's
basing it off of.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's less than Neary, but Nairi, excuse me. Nairi has
Smaller sample size.
yeah, exactly. And so I think that's a great pick, honestly. I don't hate it. I think there are other guys you could argue, but that's the kind of the point is it's arguable. So anybody else have
Yeah.
any kind of objections with that one?
I was kind of in
Nope.
between him and Guac for this one, to be honest, and I'm happy I didn't have to be the one who picked.
All right, well, Drew, you are up ironically at 29. So who are you
It's-
going
it's-
with?
I personally think I think it's got to be Guac, and
Wow.
honestly, and I mean I don't mean this in like a bad way, but no, like this spot shouldn't be like discouraging. Like personally, I thought you were 32 up until this season or last season.
I'm gonna say something really fucking rude right now. I see 4 users that I am better than, and you're putting me here.
Yeah,
Hey, give me one sec.
I'm willing to veto this. This to me is worth a
I-
veto of Guac. 'Cause
I
I
think
think
this is
Guac showed
bullshit.
major
I'm with-
improvement. He's
I'm
a
with them.
playoff because you got to think here, Drew.
Yeah,
Has
he
any
has the
have
playoff
any?
team this
There's
year.
about a bunch of these guys on. Yeah, his career
Oh,
win
we got the
percentage is garbage.
Cowboys.
Cowboys are here. You
I-
got Girthquake. You got Boone. I mean, you got so many people you could put here at 29.
You got
I mean, like
Rob.
You got
Dave-
You got
Regan.
Rob, bro. You
Dave
got
this
plenty of
cycle.
people.
I mean,
Yeah. You know what? I got it. It's gonna be let's see.
or Riot. I mean, Riot hasn't made the playoffs. He hasn't even
It's
sniffed
gonna
the
be
playoffs.
bracket.
No, what the fuck?
Oh,
Okay, double
what?
veto.
What?
Good lord.
Okay.
Drew, Jesus, get it together.
Drew, pick someone.
I'll go with Riot. I think what the team he had, the team he built. I mean, if you're not winning games, holy crap.
That's a fair
Reeves move
point.
Clutch over.
Oh, good call. Thank you.
Wait, what?
I didn't put clutch in for the other one.
29. Yep.
So we were at 28. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you. See, this is why we need you. This is why, don't fall asleep just yet. So let me go ahead.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I am back up in this order. Riot was probably going to be, I love our Swiss friend, but mostly because he's Swiss and they have good banks and chocolate and all that jazz. But, I mean, I think he probably would have been my pick for 27. But 27, man, there's a lot of guys that showed promise here, but man, that's tough. I'm also going to go with the theory. Well, no, he did. I was gonna say Grizz is in this range. I'm putting Grizz over Guac personally, but just how I've played him, he's played me tough. So I would say Girthquake is probably going to be here for me. Girth was in play for and our Cowboys, who's our Cowboys user. I'm going to go ahead and put him in here at 27. Anybody have any vetoes against Girth going here?
Nope.
No.
All right, so let's go ahead and rumble on to 26. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th worst user in the XCFL. At a certain point, it'll start getting best. But right now, it's still in the worst category. And this is worst category of the Madden 21 cycle. So, whole cycle in review. And this is Guac. Guac, you are up, sir. 26.
Alrighty.
Since you said you see a bunch of people you are better than, who are you putting above yourself here?
Rob. I gotta put Rob. I mean, Rob's been in the league for a little while. He is one of the higher tier, lower tier users that we see. I think Rob, he plays good ball, but in a division with Boone, and he's not really all that, but Boone is different. And in the beginning of the season when Brap, he had Brap who was breaking rules and winning games at the beginning of the cycle here. Brap was a huge competitor. He just had a tough division, and I got to go Rob here. And when you go benching your own players and then complaining about losing games, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but you can't win that way. So.
All right. Guac spitting it real. We like it. Anybody else? Any objections for 26?
No.
I don't hate it. It's not the most egregious thing ever.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are a couple that you could put below him, but it isn't. It's harsh, but it's fair. So
worth the conversation, and this isn't to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just
exactly
where we're staying.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and. Okay, we are up at 25 now. I see a couple names here, Wings, that you might go. You thinking where are you thinking about going here, buddy?
Honestly, it's between Guac and Heath for me. And it's tough because Heath's beat me before. I think he's beat me twice, actually. But
one of those was CPU win.
No. He beat me twice.
Oh,
I think he was the Cowboys early in the cycle when he beat me.
With the ice field goal.
Yes.
The ice field goal, though.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'll go with Heath. Just because he hasn't been here, but a few seasons.
Being too delicate with Guac's feelings.
Nah, be real,
but he's been in and out. He has like a 30% win percentage. I think you could definitely put Heath here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's possible. Heath was, and you knew him pretty well. You played him a lot. I think you played him a lot here, with him being the Steelers. So would you say he is, better? Would you say he's worse than Guac between him and Guac?
I would say it's like a coin flip, probably.
Okay.
But I give the slight edge to Guac because he's been here the whole cycle and he just made the playoffs. So
that's fair.
I feel like
Heath has never made the playoffs himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really what tilts it in his favor.
I get that. Yeah, again, I don't hate the pick. Anybody got any strong vetoes here that, no way, no shit, no how, this is not a good pick?
Nope.
Okay. Bucket, you are up, sir. And this might
that
be
leaves
where
me.
Yeah, is this
I'm dropping the hammer.
All right, do it. Is that all right, Guac, right? Any
yeah.
You got to I know you live with him, he probably hears your criticism pretty frequently, but what's your reasoning there?
There's no doubt in my mind that you are by far one of the most improved users that we've seen this cycle, but you do still make a lot of mistakes. You make a lot of quick errors by getting rid of the ball while he's still moving, and then you freak out about why it's happening. You've got some things to work on and things you can get better at. easily too. Things that, as long as you slow down and pay attention, I know that you know how to do them. And I think that we're going to see some good things out of you this season, or this cycle.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great, great, great description, I think. And you know his game pretty well. So, Guac, do you have any rebuttals?
Pain in the ass for me to play.
When we rank each other, we are going to have a rebuttal. Whoever ranks them, and once we agree that that is where they need to be, we're gonna have a small rebuttal, and then we can let it roll.
I love that his rebuttal was a weed pull. It was a bong pull. I mean,
Yeah, you just
I'm gonna
rip.
be
It was
honest,
a rip.
that-
It's called a rip, sir.
whatever.
I apologize. That was not intentional, believe it or not. I mean, I get it. I agree with you.
Hey, here,
I
Guac, here's a
accept it.
suggestion. Do you ever think that the bong pull might be part of the reason you're at 24?
Absolutely
One of us
not. I
does.
do not play. Are you fucking kidding me? I have not played a game stoned this season,
Oh,
or
really?
last season, or this season. I swear to
Coincidentally,
you.
you made a playoffs this year, right?
Well, that's
I
impressive.
Cool. Good job.
I stopped. Whoa! I stopped smoking weed. Whoa! He is
Whoa. Slow
whoa.
us down here.
fake news. That's bullshit. That is inaccurate. I stopped
Inaccurate.
smoking.
Inaccurate.
Shut
Oh
the
my
fuck
god.
Okay,
Get it
guys,
right,
let's
Dub.
go. Let's go.
All
Let's
right,
go.
cool.
Anyway.
Drew,
Drew's
Yeah.
up next.
I'm going to bed
you've
soon.
had a million years to figure out your decision. Who are you going with?
We haven't been blacking out names, huh?
I have been blacking out names.
If you're looking at
Just
the
refresh.
list, he's moving.
Yeah, just
We're
refresh.
moving from one to the other.
Literally,
buddy.
yeah,
Oh my-
refresh it.
Oh, okay.
The
You're
top
doing great.
arrow. Good job, bud.
Thank you. See, look at me. I'm doing things.
You're
Oh,
doing
okay,
great,
nice.
Reeks.
I think we're gonna Dave Raiders.
Well, Dave, yeah, I think Dave's a fair pick. He was
Yeah.
he was going to be in contention at my pick, but
I think Dave might be a little bit. I think Guac's a little bit better than Dave.
That's what I
Uh,
was
yeah.
gonna say that, but I didn't want to be
I
that
don't
guy.
know.
it's close. I mean,
I
it's
beat
a
him
toss
both
see.
up.
times.
Hold on,
I beat him
think
both times I played him. I
Hold
made
on.
the playoffs. Go ahead.
my thing is Dave has been like that 5 to 7 win team like every year he's been here. I feel like I might be wrong.
He's been,
But-
he has been pretty consistently like meh, but he has never made the playoffs
no,
though,
not
even
even
though it
meh.
is
He's
last
just been-
season.
Yeah, that's true.
To be fair, he was in a tough ass division too.
That's also true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and a tough, not only a tough division, but the tough conference. AFC was pretty loaded, so it wasn't like he was going to make it in as a third wild card, So that's pretty tough, but that's a fair point. I mean, I'm any massive grievances with putting Dave here?
None.
Okie doke, good enough for me. And that brings me up here. And I am going to have to go. I got a couple here in contention. I'm thinking, man, I got a toss up here personally between. Well, actually, I do have it's about 3 teams here. I'm gonna go. Oh man. I think I'm going to go with Willinger here. I mean, again, one of those guys that isn't moving on with us to Madden 22, but he was one of those teams that early in the cycle, I mean, he showed promise. He had a couple nice seasons with Darnold, but really, I think it's a tough ask when you're in a division that doesn't have a clear, obvious number one, and you can't pull out more division wins. I think he could have had more playoff appearances if he tried. I think he was kind of one of those users that kind of flew under the radar. Didn't really have a ton of content. He had decent content, but to me, power rankings. I mean, obviously that doesn't really take into account content, but for me, it's if you're winning, you're gonna let people know, and I don't remember really seeing much of him. So,
I have a veto for that.
really,
Just because I think there's some people on this list that haven't made the playoffs, and Will's made the playoffs multiple times.
Oh yeah, that's 69-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah, but he's made it more times than just that.
No
But
wonder
that's what
he
I'm saying.
quit.
It was kind of early on that he had his success. I don't recall. I mean, I feel like Braps kind of ran the tables, Who hasn't made the play? I mean, Hammer.
Chris.
Are we at
Has
Grizz?
Hammer made the
Dude, Grizz
playoffs?
made the
Grizz.
playoffs
No.
that once, and he
Nope.
even. I mean,
No, he did
in it-
not.
No, he did not. He missed it out
He
on a
did not.
game three
Oh,
times.
that's right. That's right. I had his.
I took him out. Rob took him out. And who else took him out?
Okay. Anybody else have any strong vetoes?
Hammer made the playoffs season 44 too.
So we're going a strong veto on the Willinger pick.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
I think it
fine
has.
by me.
At
I
least
think it has.
here.
I think
Yeah.
it has to be somebody that hasn't made the playoffs.
Okay. Let me. Yeah, especially after having
So
Guac
safe
on
for
there.
now.
I mean, well, no, Bob made playoffs once because he won the division in that one time.
I think everyone but
The year I won the
Grizz
Super Bowl.
has made the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. Grizz going here. I mean, I think Grizz will be floored to be at 22. He'll be thrilled. He'll be like, I think he'll be ecstatic. But it's a fair. I think it's a fair
Interesting.
assessment. I mean, he played in a tough division. That was why I gave him the credit. He had two of our personal top 5, which, to be fair, we could go ahead and fill in 1 through 4 or 5 if you want to, since we did our top 5 before. Does that sound good to you?
Let's just keep
Yeah.
going. Let's keep
Okay.
going.
Cool. So let's go ahead and do
Holy
that
shit.
just because to avoid the, debates of that because we're trying to make it a 25 or 45 minute or.
Yeah, I straight
So,
up don't want to talk about Wings
Guac-
being one again.
Yeah,
so.
I know. We already died inside having to do that. But Guac, go ahead and give us your number 21 that's above Grizz.
Okay, we're just gonna. I think we should just make this. We put Willinger here.
Okay. Anybody else have any
I think we
vetoes?
should-
You think Will over Hammer and Sparty?
No, Sparty's had some good seasons, especially late.
Yeah, Sparty's had some. Yeah.
But that was also because Van stopped giving a crap halfway through the cycle. But Van's a good guy. I don't want to dig Van. He's fun.
That's fine then. I think Hammer and Will are close. I think with those and Sparty, I think those 3 are close. But
Yeah. Anybody?
I mean, it's
so
a good thing you
I
picked
think
next.
strong vetoes. I don't have a strong veto because I literally just picked him at 22. So anybody else have a strong veto against Will going in here at 21?
No.
Perfect.
I don't. I like
All
it.
right. So I'll do a little housekeeping work on the side while Wings picks our number 20. Number 20 is. I'm guessing you're going Hammer since you just mentioned him at 21.
yeah, I'm gonna go Hammer here.
Okay.
Dude, his receiver that he has is absolutely nasty.
He is.
But
Vernon, right?
yeah,
I mean,
he
his
just
team,
has
Incredible.
his
a-
team top to bottom is nice. His corners are nice. I mean, he's got a good pass rush. He has everything you really
yeah.
need to win, and we haven't seen much in the win category. I agree there.
Yeah, I mean he has
Mhm.
one playoff appearance, maybe 2.
I think
Well,
Tyree
just-
Fulton might be the most nasty EA gen pass rusher we've ever seen.
Oh yeah, dude.
On
What was he
paper.
like 90 something speed?
89 speed off rip, and I think he's 91
Yeah.
now.
Oof.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. But yeah, I'd put him here.
Okay. Bucket, you are up at 19. I'll make sure everybody we're picking from is gone.
Now we're getting into the fun ones, right?
Yeah, this is fun.
So I'm gonna put Jared here. I know that he had some success in that division, but I think that
Above Bob?
consistently,
Ooh. Above
I missed-
Sparty.
I missed both of them on the list. Mine was tabbed over one. My bad, guys.
We were just
I'm
like,
looking at the
wait,
list here, I was
hold
like,
on. We still have a member. When you have a member of
I'm
the
gonna
AFC South Blind and Deaf school,
No.
there's still got to. I mean that's cause for pause.
No, I'm gonna go Sparty here because
Oh.
Bob showed that he could win some games
I
and then
think
had to take seasons off.
I
and then
think
his team
Sparty
got
showed he can
ruined.
win games.
Did Sparty beat you?
I don't think, dude. Bob was bound to beat me after 20 games or after however many games we played. I mean,
Regan, I say we leave 5 and 6 off because those are
Those are debatable.
on our
Those
list.
they did have quite a bit of debate. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Good call.
Cool.
All right, so we'll go ahead and so
Okay,
you're
so
going
if you
Jared.
guys-
You're going Jared over Bob.
No,
Oh, who are you going?
no. We decided on Sparty over Bob.
Sparty's made the playoffs like 2 or 3 times though.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bob won
the division,
11
though.
and 4
Anybody?
this
So
season?
does anybody have strong vetoes like this?
Yeah,
is
I
absurd.
think Sparty went 12-4 this year or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Sparty can go here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like recent. I mean, I know he didn't make the playoffs forever, but he's kind of owned the North these last couple of years. I mean, I might be wrong, but
I mean,
I'd go
he
with
did
I'd go
start
with
setting the ground on fire when he drafted his running back.
I would
yeah.
back I would also back Bob just solely because Sparty's been here for the entirety of the cycle too. So it's kind
Okay.
of like I don't know.
hmm
In total.
I'm good with that.
But
No, I'm good with that.
I forgot Bob was on the list to be honest.
Any other vetoes we had? I know somebody tried to put in. I believe Brackett tried to put in Guac at 29. I'm keeping track of
Nope.
how many vetoes we had.
Nope. That was definitely true.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me.
I dropped the hammer on Glock.
Drew's a fucking cunt.
Okay, so who's got 19?
I think it's got to be
Now
Bob.
Drew's turn.
So
Okay,
Drew,
I
you
think
tried to get Guac at 28 instead.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of Riot. Okay. And then okay, I don't think we had any other massive grievances. Okay, so we're at 3. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right.
And 19 is Bob.
And 19's Bob. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
19's Bob,
I
yeah.
agree with that. If we're gonna veto, I mean, if we're gonna use a veto there, I think that's probably the best call. So the all right, Bob. Perfect. So now we are back to Drewski. Drew,
Okay.
your blind and deaf division is off the table, so you have no easy picks. Who are you going at 18?
I think this is a pretty easy pick. I think it's got to be Jared, right?
Mm,
Yeah, I could see it. I think it's very arguable at this point who's above who.
I think
Anybody
it's
got?
arguable between Jared and Sparty.
I do.
Between who I'm between.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a kind of a pick your poison thing. So Drew, you get final say. You're going Jared.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. And why do you put him below Sparty personally?
Honestly, I think they might have. It seemed like they split their games every single year, and then this last year was when, or these last couple of years, Sparty's been really good, and I mean Jared's kind of fell off, but I think I like what I saw from Sparty.
Sparty does have a lot of former Bengals, so
Yeah,
Respect
exactly.
the Bengal hustle. Yeah, he got it. Honestly, I'm really surprised you traded that one guy. You
Deacon
Turner.
Turner.
yeah, you had a really
DP.
nice
Deacon
player
Turner.
there.
That
yeah.
dumb truck with those pads on, bro.
He was a dump truck. The man was built like an absolute tank.
I had a dump truck too.
Yeah, we know. So now that Drew, I'm doing a lot. So I am back up in the order, and this is one where, yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I got to go Sparty.
Here's
And
the
like it.
question: Do you think Sparty or Van had a better cycle?
And
Van.
I think Van did. Yeah, Van
Yeah.
quit halfway, about 3/4 of the way through. But Sparty normally, I mean, I think Van was pretty much manhandling Sparty. They had some tight runs, but Van had a stupid amount of interceptions this cycle, and I think you got to credit it to his division mates,
deleted the
Jared
wrong.
and Sparty. Honestly,
You just deleted Van.
fudge, my bad.
There's
Let me
a
see if I
way
can
to try,
do
bro.
that. There we go. Yeah, it's just a subliminal thing. Van will probably shoot me a nice happy DM after that.
Back rolls.
Fucking Canadians.
The Bagnalls. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and keep rolling here. 16. This is where it starts getting tight because we might hear some of our names called. We got Van. We still have Brian on the board. Brian, sneaking in after disappearing halfway through. These are gonna get. This is really where it's gonna get interesting from 16 to 5. Guac, you are up.
Yeah, this is tough.
Guac, are you muted, my friend? Guac is muted.
Alex.
Looks like
I've arrived.
that last
I
rip
apologize.
got to you,
I'm
buddy.
Okay, there he is.
There we go.
Nope, we're good. I'm sorry. I was talking and I did not realize it. My bad. I said Prince.
Prince. Okay.
I put Prince. Simply
Prince.
because he's not with us anymore. He did make the playoffs almost every year, but I mean,
Hold on. If you're gonna put Prince here, don't you have to put Brian below him?
Don't you have to
fuck
put
no.
that is
Brian
his
won a
dad.
Super Bowl. Brian won a Super Bowl. Brian won a Super Bowl, even though he did leave us. He won a Super Bowl, and he came back and he kind of turned that team. That team was what? It started 0-4, right? He came back and almost made the fucking playoffs. You can't put Brian here.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
I just mean below Prince. That's all.
No, Prince left. He didn't win a Super Bowl. Who else are we going to put here?
Prince made
Brian
an
left
NFC
because of
championship, though.
Prince.
I mean, yeah, Brian did make a Super Bowl. I think we're ignoring the obvious pick here, though, personally. But there's
Regan.
potentially.
Or Van.
Or
Or
Bucket.
yeah, that was. I mean, there's. It's a tight. I mean, it really is. It's tight.
You
It's a
got
toss up.
for
let's,
me.
wait. The
wait,
same
not
argument
Kevin.
you just made though. Brackett made a conference championship.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I played Wayne
what I mean?
twice a
So
year.
Prince, that's true. I mean, Prince. So think of it as on any given day of this cycle, or on the average day of this cycle, who do you want to face? And I'm not, because obviously NWS. That's kind of the problem
It's
with guys like
NWS,
NWS or
period.
me. Is some days or Boone even you'll get a sweaty ass Boone on random days, or with me, I sometimes will sweat way harder than usual. Um, it's a tough call. It's a tough toss up. So Guac,
If I'm looking at this list right now, I'm sorry.
I mean Guac
I'm
picked. So the official pick was Prince. Are we going to use? Let's go by the Let's just go by the protocol. Anybody have a definite veto to this? We're going. This would be our fourth veto.
You know what? My veto would be JMO.
No, I don't agree with that one.
Didn't he make a conference ship though? And didn't he?
I don't think so.
No,
He
no.
did. He beat Jack. He beat Regan, and then he beat Jack. Yeah, he made the conference ship. Yes, he did.
If I was picking the person I would much rather play out of who's left, I'm picking you, Regan.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's between Prince or Regan for me.
So
My thing
are
is
we? But
Prince
are we
had a-
using
I-
a
my-
for sure veto on Prince? That's the question. My biggest.
My
vote.
thing is,
I don't think so.
Prin-
I think it's
Brent,
close enough where he belongs here.
I think Prince had a better cycle than JMO in the same division.
Yeah, but are you
Is
going
my
to use it? I
problem.
mean, again, the question, we're going down to this final bit of, I mean, are we trying to make the best possible power rankings of most accurate, or are we going to go for, it's okay. Well,
I was trying to make
Quality.
that accurate.
personally,
Quality.
yeah, quality, I'll use a veto here. I know for a fact I'm not better than Prince on the majority of the cycle, but I would say I'm better than a couple of these names, but I would best say about 3 or 4 of these names. But other than that, I'd say 5. Actually, I'm going to say 5 of these names, but that's just me personally. I have that, unpenetrable confidence.
Yeah, okay.
Now, yeah, I'll use a veto here. Prince, I'm saying Prince should be higher personally. Anybody? So for the argument, Guac, who would be your second pick? If we veto Prince, who would be your second pick? Did you say Regan?
You.
Thanks. Okay, cool. All right. I will sit at 16. Top half. Thanks. Kathy is not happy. She will visit you in your dreams tonight.
Maybe that's what you want.
She's sleeping with PRI, bro. Relax.
No, Jorge McBulge. They're a thing.
Yo.
All right. And 15. So who are we going? Wings, you are up.
It's my turn?
Who's your pick here at 15?
Oh man, this is tough. Honestly, it's between JMO and NWS for me. Do we think JMO is better than Brackett?
Yes.
No.
What?
No.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Who are you?
Bracket, are we forgetting like what was going on with you like in mid-cycle?
Which was?
Yeah, early to mid cycle it was bad for you.
It was pretty bad, yeah.
I'm
I
gonna go
played
with
JMO one time and I was like, I can't beat this guy. I can't.
I'm gonna go with Brackett here, just because honestly it's between him and NWS. But I just think
problem-
NWS had
The problem
Put
with a
me
lot of
below
these guys,
NWS.
this middle tier from about 16, even you could even throw Sparty in here, Sparty and Jared. Sometimes Jared is like stupid good when he's sober, but or no, not sober, but the perfect level of drunk. Like when he played when he beat Jack in that playoff game or that play-in game maybe. I can't remember what it was, but um Jared, I mean, just sweated his nuts off against Jack and ended up beating him. And it was kind of when he was that perfect level of drunk, but you could see at the end of the game he started to hit that like drunker level of drunk and kind of fell apart. So, but he had already had a pretty much big enough lead to cover that. So, a
I'm gonna
little
go
bit of a
bracket.
pardon my interruption there. What were you saying, Wings?
I'm gonna go bracket just because I think NWS has a series on them. They've both been to a conference championship.
Okay.
I don't know. It's close. It's like coin flip for me.
All right, we'll go
I agree.
bucket. Any strong vetoes here? Like absurd, no way. Bucket's not allowed
I'm
to
gonna
veto his
I'm
own
gonna
self.
keep mine. I'm gonna keep mine in my pocket.
All right, what's your? Oh, I never got a rebuttal, but I guess I'll toss in a quick rebuttal of I think I'm better than some of these guys, but I understand the
It's
pick.
the opposite. It's off the cycle though.
No,
So
exactly, I understand the
yeah, I
pick.
mean,
I didn't do much. Only got two playoff wins total. It hurts, but I get it, and it's part of it is just because I think in this range, any of these guys on any given day could be very, very good and beat the best, but they're not the best every single week, and I get that. And bracket, what's your rebuttal to being picked 15? If you have any,
I'm
you can
beating.
also plead the fifth.
I'm beating NWS 3 out of 4 times.
Oh,
Outside of that, I don't really have
Do
any.
all
do we
right,
know what the
drops
season
the
series?
mic. Okay, bucket, you are up, and I mean, based on what you just said, I assume you're going to be picking.
Yeah, it's NWS.
Okay.
Yep. I don't even need to defend that.
And that should make it a little easier for and I agree. I mean, he's kind of wildly inconsistent on some days. That should make it a little easier for our good friend Drew. Drew, who are you going with?
Let me get this refreshed real quick.
I know you'd mentioned a couple names. You had mentioned a couple names before in this, and this is over the full extent of the cycle. Certain guys will benefit from us counting the earlier seasons. Other guys it hurts, like Bucket and NWS too wasn't all that great in those early seasons.
Did we put NWS in yet?
We did.
Yeah, we did. Okay, just
did.
okay. Man, I don't know.
Dude,
This
J-Mo
one's a
Van
little
Boone are
interesting.
close.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick, I'm probably going Van right here.
Van over Boone.
Yeah, Van. I'd rather play Van than Boone, to be honest.
Wow. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And I don't have any strong vetoes. Anybody else have any veto?
No.
Okay. All right. Van, goodbye off the list. And now we go up to me again. This is where. Oh, man. This is tough. No, it's not. Boone. I don't know how Boone's still here. If I didn't just call an NFC playoff game where Boone was, playing stride for stride with Wings, I would not have put him up this high. I would have called his name a long time ago. But Boone is one of those guys on the average. I feel like he's at probably 20. He's probably at Hammer's level on the average, but on some days he will play in it as a top 10 user, and it makes no sense. But Sweaty Boone does exist, and Sweaty Boone will come for your ass in the most random of times. So Godspeed to anybody that plays Sweaty Boone. 11, Guac. Who are you putting that just almost on the edge of the top 10, which I know you said before you had Prince, so I mean that may be a pretty easy pick here.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go Prince here.
All right, we're kind of holding to. I try to remind guys if they did pick somebody before, it's kind of obvious who they're going with because they got vetoed from their first pick. So moving on, we have top 10. Who is a top 10 user in the XCFL? This is going to get where it starts to have a little bit of a debate. 10.
I'm
Shit's
going
gonna get
Wings,
weird.
you get to choose. You're at the one end of the top 10. Who is at the bottom of the top 10?
J-Mo.
All right.
I think it's arguable. Prince had a better cycle than him, but it's close.
Yeah,
And he's been here the whole cycle.
I could agree
Same
with that.
division. I mean,
He's staff, though,
You staff. Nah, dude, JMO is one of the most long-suffering staff members. For him to survive in a staff chat with me and I guess just
Literally
me.
just you.
You're just
Yeah,
you.
just me. All right, and 9, Bucket, you are up. This is a tough choice. I mean, you kind of have your 3 on the
It's not
left,
that
and
tough.
then it's
I'm putting
funny they're in
Brian here.
2. The way it kind of fell out was Brian and Brap, in my opinion, are in a different bracket than these other 3 on the left. So,
Yep, I'm putting Brian here.
wow,
Over
Brian
Brap?
in
No way.
over instead of Brap.
Yes, because when they both had good rosters, Brap was consistently getting to Wings or Drew in the AFC Chip.
No.
No.
Brian won a
no.
fucking Super Bowl. What?
A Super Bowl. What are you talking
And he's
about?
I'm
been- and
sorry.
he went
I'm
to
How many
sorry.
did Brack win?
I'm sorry. What
How
I'm
many
gonna
seasons
say,
did Brap leave for?
what I'm gonna say right now is, Brap gave us like kind of good games for like a half. I feel like a half
why
or
are
a
you,
quarter.
Why are you making us defend Brian right now?
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
tough.
sorry,
I'm put
on,
us in
bro.
a really
You are
tough
defending
position.
Brian right
Come
now.
on.
All right, we're gonna have to go.
This-
That sounded like a pretty strong veto. We vetoing and going Brap.
Yes.
I think so, yes.
All right, Guac, you in agreement?
1,000%.
All right, sounds good. I'm with it. I agree. I don't think there's any competition. Brap is nowhere near Brian, especially on. I mean, because Brian is just the angry whisper
Brian.
alone. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to freaking play the angry whisper. F that. Like, you don't want to hear him whispering things about my mother. I mean, this guy goes, you have heard things on chat. I swear to God, I would not repeat some of the things that he has
Bro.
said to me in his angry whisper. And he doesn't know I'm listening, but he's like literally angry whispering to himself almost. And he's like, it's creepy. There's some
Gotta
weird
whisper.
shit that goes down.
Dude.
So, 8.
Season 1. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it is
Season
your
1.
bad, Guac.
Fuck you. Season 1, when we were still kind of figuring out, like, Madden 21, Brian actually snapped a headset while playing me.
God dang. All right, that's hilarious.
Golly.
All right, Drew, who you going with here at 8?
Oh God.
Ooh,
Let's see.
now you do have to consider Nick has not won a Super Bowl. Brian has won a
No,
Super Bowl.
no. Listen. I'm going Nick here. Nick won 3 playoff games the whole entire cycle.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that is simple. And so you're not going to count regular season winning for anything in the power rankings.
No,
okay. Because he
I'll
had a
be
couple
honest,
1
there-
seeds. That should be considered. I mean, just like with Pride, you can consider he did have a couple 1
Wait.
seeds.
Did he have a 1 seed?
Oh yeah,
I don't think
he had
so.
he had a couple there in the middle of the cycle.
Are you sure?
Who? Nick?
Yeah, go check
I'm pretty-
go
I'm
check
pretty-
playoff
I'm pretty
history.
sure.
I'll go look at playoff history
No.
right now.
Nick never had a 1 seed. It was always Mirror Wings. I feel like.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think it was.
Nah, playoff history. I'll bet you money.
I'll bet you
Hey,
money.
look,
Right?
literally the
Oh, he had it
first one, the first slide I pull up, the 1 seed. Huh? Gee, there's a good.
Wow.
There's the Chargers
But he
as the 1 seed.
Yeah, but I mean, he lost first round that playoff.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Still the
yeah,
1 seed.
I'm
What are
going
you
to say
talking
the
about?
1 seed.
Like,
You
Oh,
got
yeah,
to
sorry.
think of
That,
dominance.
like his first game, he lost. He
Okay.
might have played the AFC South, and who
No, I get it. Okay, I mean that's Nick. I think it is arguable. Anybody got any like massive veto power here for going for Nick at 8?
No, I think it's an argument between him and Pride though.
I agree. Yep.
Wow, him and Pride. Okay, so we'll go
him
ahead
and Pride.
Yeah,
No.
All right, we'll
I think
put
so.
Yeah.
we'll take Nick out the way and put him in at 8. So we got the last 3 here, and
I think it's easy.
just to I mean, if does anybody have? So 7. Oh, it's gonna be me at 7. Brian. It's an easy pick. I don't like Brian. Brian goes
We
in as
really
soon
should
as
have
possible.
waited to do this until the NFC Championship game was over. Because we did say in our last podcast that if Pride wins Super Bowl here,
He could be
he bumps
5.
ahead of Tosh. Right.
Well,
Hold
here
on,
goes
hold
back.
on.
All right,
What-
back to the old Tosh v Pride argument.
Here,
Tosh,
I
the AFC is way sweatier in my opinion than the NFC. I gotta put. I mean,
Is that even
I
mean?
still think we put Pride below Brian, unless he wins this year,
really,
or unless he, yeah,
Yep. Yep.
because Brian's been to 2, won 1,
he went to 2 Super Bowls.
yeah, and won
Yep.
1. Pride's been to 1, lost 1.
So are you
And
gonna
they've had
use a strong?
they've had very.
I
Yeah, we're going
could
off
be
the
swayed
cycle.
here. I could be swayed. I mean, I'm.
I think it's Pride here and then Brian, and then if Pride wins this NFC Championship game, then he could go above, and then if he wins a Super Bowl, he's definitely above.
So that makes
What do
it
you
pretty
think?
clear. that Tosh is our 5, it kind of falls back into what we said before. Who's going to make an argument for Pride being over Brian? I'm okay with, at this point, with these last 3. Let's make it a debate where we decide who of these 3 on the left. I changed it so you can go ahead and refresh it. Who of these 3 on the left deserves 7, 5, and 6 and 5? Anybody?
Yeah.
So Wings has made his case for Brian being over Pride. I know.
Hold on.
Bracket, you're a
How
really
did we
big
just
fan
jump?
of Pride.
How did we just jump? I must have missed something here because Nick is on the list and Brian is still not.
Brian won a Super Bowl, buddy.
I don't care about the one Super Bowl. He left.
Okay, that doesn't mean
We're talking
anything.
about an entire. Yes, it does. We figured that into the argument for 13 other people. They stayed the entire cycle. Brian didn't. How are we supposed to know that Brian didn't start regressing when you started getting better at this game, Alex?
It doesn't matter, Kevin.
He dog walked him 3 weeks ago. What are you talking about? It does matter.
You're acting like you didn't get better either, bro. You had a shit
and it's
season
not at this.
start.
It's not at this step. It's not at this point of, because if we were to say like
it's the
this
entirety
season,
of the cycle.
Exactly, this season is irrelevant at the end of the day. We're looking at We're looking at the entire cycle, and over the course of the entire cycle, I agree. Brian losing does not put him. If Brian hadn't left and had continued his dominance and being as good as he was previously, and walking the dog with that division consistently, I think you would have seen Brian higher. I think he would have been 5. Honestly, he would have been right under Jack or right below Tosh at 6. But for me,
okay. So how can you discredit Nick for not leaving and doing something similar? He's splitting with Tosh.
We're not discrediting Nick for not leaving.
We're just saying Nick wasn't as dominant because of a lack of playoff wins. At the end of the day, Nick had one more playoff win than I did. Think about that.
Nick wouldn't just, yeah.
I think Nick's going to take offense to that statement, and you should retract that.
No, that's a fact.
No.
Nick had 3 playoff wins. I had 2.
I get it. I get that it's a fact. It's just the way that you worded it, saying that. Never mind.
I agree. I mean, he is dominant, given the fact that he has won a lot of games in the regular season. At the end of the day, the regular season is just the regular season, and playoff football determines who the best and most dominant players are in this league. Obviously, yes, you're going to consider it in power rankings of the regular season, but whenever we're talking top 5, especially and sort of top 10, you got to take into account playoff dominance and playoff wins. Pride has been to a Super Bowl. Nick has not this cycle. Pride has been to he's gotten quite a few playoff wins. I know Pride has beat Jack a few times. He's given VBD a run for his money. VBD in a DM to me said, honestly, I was kind of hoping you'd win because I don't want to play Pride in the playoffs. I'd rather not.
So my argument is, look who Nick has to go through every season in the playoffs.
Wings or Drew. Yeah, that's a good point. Number 1 and number 2. If it wasn't for number 1 and number 2, would he have gotten more playoff wins?
Wait. To be fair, he's had losses to like Boone, NWS. I won't mention the Smokes one. That's not his fault, but
true. No, I agree with that. Boone and NWS are huge losses in the playoffs. Those are ones you gotta win. Those are ones you gotta win. That I 100% agree. It's not like he just got to Wings or Drew. That's a great counterpoint, Wings.
He lost to Brap too in the playoffs. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anybody? So for 7, Nick is on the board. Let's leave Nick on the board. I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah. Now, Nick versus Pride any day of the week, in my opinion,
I don't think the defense you guys put up either. I was questioning, but it's not like the worst thing in the world you guys come up with. Yeah.
Now, listen, the reason I say Nick is below Pride guaranteed is because what's the one way to beat Nick? Run game. If you're going to go a 1-to-1 matchup, who is better, Nick or Pride this cycle? I would put Pride all day. Pride has had equal, if not better statistics in the run game and the running back statistic mark, with pass catches and whatever, than Nick has had with his pass game. Because his pass game has been elite, and so has been his running backs and all their stuff. Nick's been good in the regular season, but Pride is also one of those regular season warriors. Now, getting to the postseason, Pride has not been as sweaty as I think you want to see. Some of these users, like Brian getting to 2 Super Bowls is huge. However, Pride has gotten to 1. Brian has won 1 and lost 1. Pride has only lost 1. So but Pride has been more consistent over the cycle. I can name one cycle that he did not, or one cycle, excuse me, one season of this cycle that Pride did not make the playoffs. So Brian, however, leaving for about, how many seasons did he leave for? Was it 2 or 3?
Yeah, I think
Three.
so. 2 or 3.
Three.
So it's 3 cycles. I mean, that should basically count as 3 missed playoffs at the most, if not 3 losing seasons. So
Yep.
I think personally, I do put Brian here at 7. Nick and Brian are really close, but Nick is like the opposite of Brian to me. Nick has been consistent in the regular season and not so consistent in the playoffs. Brian consistently has been pretty dangerous in the playoffs when he gets there. But he's been pretty inconsistent in the regular season, as evidenced by those 3 missed seasons. So, anybody else going to put? Because I don't want to reward a guy that left without saying anything. I think we should put him at 7, almost on principle. But and then debate between Pride and Tosh. Anybody with that?
See, personally, mine's Pride, Brian, Tosh, but
Why do you put Brian? What makes Brian better than Pride?
the
Or worse
Super
than
Bowl
Pride?
win and
Or excuse me,
been to
better.
2.
I'm sorry, yeah, better.
The Super Bowl win, for the most part.
Who is it against?
Me.
Fair point.
Enough
So,
said.
Anybody? Anybody? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's tough.
and
'cause
his
Wings
loss was to me too. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
all right. Anybody?
Brian, or not Brian, I'm sorry, Pride.
Pride?
Pride.
Okay. Pride.
and then
you
if
could
if
prove
he
us wrong.
if he wins this year, I think he goes above him. But
I think personally, I agree. Wings, you
because
kind of
then he'd
have.
literally
I'll
have
defer
he'd
to
have
you.
the same. Then if he won this year, he'd have the same resume Brian does Super Bowls wise, but just been here longer and
And
better
didn't leave 3
regular
seasons.
Yeah.
more regular season success.
You know. Well, yeah. So Brian, I will. In the case of Brian and Pride, I'll defer to you because you played Brian twice in the Super Bowls. I do have quite a bit of experience with Pride, but again, I'm the 16th best user according to you guys. So, what's the point of a 16th sitting here and saying, "Oh, Pride's good," when the number 1 user says, "Dude, Brian gave me hell in those 2 Super Bowls." So to me, that carries a lot of weight, and I think that anybody else disagree there?
No, not at all.
All right. Well, we're trying to wrap it up soon, so I guess Tosh here at 5, and as we said so we actually recanted once we got Wings had thought about it for a little bit. Wings, what brought you to not say? I mean, obviously we didn't debate 6 in the podcast. We kind of just threw Pride in as honorable mention. I think Brian was tossed in at 4 or 5 before, but what? I mean, obviously you said that. What kept you from mentioning Brian above Pride before, like pretty adamantly in the podcast we had?
Well, because it was just the honorable mention. I didn't think it was worth arguing over.
Okay,
But
fair point. So our total veto count was 5, but that is pretty good in my opinion. I was shooting for around 5, given the fact we had 5 guys, so that's not
Yeah.
bad.
I
Now,
also didn't want to argue for Brian any more than I had to.
right on. I know that is
That
kind of
was
annoying.
tough.
Minus
Lucky
user
Kevin.
rank points for bracket for making us argue. So, XCFL, what are your thoughts? Go ahead and hit us up in main chat. Hopefully, we can light it up like we did with the previous one we let go. And thanks so much for tuning in to the PRI podcast. This is Regan. I have interrupted multiple times, and my boys, Bracket, Wings, Guac,
See you guys.
and Drew. We are signing out.
Later.
Peace.
I hate you so much.
Unfucking believable.